everybody.
Hey, what's going on?
So today we're going to teach you a quick and easy way to treat pecs.
Yeah, so your chest muscles. They're some of the larger muscles you actually have on the front half of your body. And for the most part, our society has an issue with rounded shoulders, right? Coming forward, having that forward head posture and forward shoulder posture. So your pectorals, actually getting them released and getting rid of that tension is going to help pick that chest up, put those shoulders back where they're supposed to be, and allow you to stand up a little straighter, a little taller. Also, the pecs are known to cause some referral pain that actually goes into the chest cavity itself. So for those of you who are having any sort of inside the chest feelings like pain and things like that, or if you feel like you're having pain on the front half of your body but it's not your shoulder and you're not sure as to why, it might be your pecs. Now for women, we're a little bit different. For those of us who feel like we've got some like breast tissue issues, or we're feeling like we've got some pain around our actual like soft tissue of our breast, but the doctor can't really explain anything, it just might be your pectorals and they're a little bit tight, especially if you're a weightlifter or you're a desk worker.
Absolutely.
Now speaking of women, at any time that we're working this, we have different glands and things like that. So if you feel any sharpness or you have any sort of pain that does not feel right, immediately get off of it, all right? As for my men though, feel free to roll the whole pec, all right? Women, that doesn't mean you have to be worried about it. It just means as soon as you get to this outside portion or we start getting towards the middle portion of the pec, you just want to be a little more careful, a little more cognizant, all right?
And it would feel different too. Like if you're rolling on a gland, that will feel different. If you're absolutely new to foam rolling, just get out of this video, try the hamstring treatment video, learn what a trigger point feels like, learn what we're actually trying to release. That way you know for sure that you're not on one of your structures that you don't want to be rolling on.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, so Andi is going to be showing you guys pretty much where I'm working. I choose to do this mostly on the wall just because it's a lot easier to maneuver and get around instead of having to pick up and reset every single time. Now, also, in the meantime, just so I tell you guys before I start facing the wall, you want to make sure that your arm is always lifted up just a little bit, okay? Because of the way that pec actually attaches to your arm, you want to make sure you have some openness here. So staying at least here, here, and here during the whole time you're rolling out is going to be really beneficial. Alrighty? All right, let's get started.
All right. Now I will show you guys on the front of my body about where she's rolling at according to what she's saying.
Okay, so we're going to start out just underneath the clavicle and right up against that chest bone. So about like right in this region, okay?
Okay, so I'm in the top medial portion of my pec right now. And just like we said in previous videos, on a pain scale of 1 to 10, if an 8 is where you want to stop doing an exercise, try and find that 5 to a 7 and hold it for 10, 15, maybe even 20 seconds until it drops down to a 2 or a 3, and then you know you've effectively treated that tissue.
All right, and after those 15 seconds, once you get it to kind of relax, make sure you move on to a different spot, okay? And let's go ahead and move out towards the armpit here.
Now be patient with us. The pecs are a large group, so we're spending a few minutes on each one in this video.
All right, make sure you move into that armpit.
Keep creeping towards the armpit. Sometimes you don't have to move far before you find another trigger point or another tender spot.
All right, and go a little farther down, so a little farther underneath the clavicle now, not directly underneath.
Okay.
Now you should be moving more towards the midline of the body. Good, and just keep moving. All right, you should be close towards that midline, and then let's go a little bit lower again. And now for women, you're probably going to be skipping over at this time and going more towards the armpit. For men, you can feel free to go straight across, all right?
So we're gonna go up and over.
And women, this is where you want to kind of be careful. If you feel anything sharp, anything doesn't feel right, just get out of the area, okay?
And it may be different if it's that time of the month. You may feel different sensations than you would normally because you're carrying extra inflammation.
All right, let's go a little lower. We'll do this very bottom portion.
You'll notice quite a few really good trigger points on this outer portion of the pec.
Make sure we're moving in towards the midline of the body here too, okay?
Okay. Are we going under the nipple?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and finish out right there by the sternum. All right, now let's go to the other side. Same thing on the other side. We're gonna start right about here, next to the sternum and right underneath the clavicle, okay? And same thing, we're gonna be moving up towards the armpit. Just do it on your own pace. All right, you should be coming out towards that armpit now. And like Andy was saying earlier, you can play with the direction of your arms. And actually, some of you might start getting some neurological symptoms that are going down either into the shoulder or down the arm in general.
And remember, I'm just demonstrating. I'm just showing you guys where she has the ball. Just so you guys get a nice visual of how the ball is traveling across the pec tissue.
All right, go ahead, go a little bit lower now.
So we're just above the nipple for ladies.
Moving back over towards that sternum.
There are trigger points in the pecs that actually radiate to the lung tissue also. So you may feel like you can breathe deeper or easier after you treat these areas.
All right, you should definitely be by the sternum now, and then possibly even going a little bit lower now.
Okay. So for the ladies, we're dipping under
right at nipple line now.
Yeah.
And remember, get pretty close, but for my women, we're gonna jump up and over and go over to that side portion, kind of towards the armpit.
And this is where most of the trigger points hang out for most of us. Right on this outer portion, right on this inner portion of the sternum.
And we're going just a little bit lower. Good, and making our last pass toward the sternum now. All right, finish up right there. All right,
Okay.
good deal.
Nice.
Feels good, right?
Yeah, I was just adding pressure and I could feel the difference.
Real good.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick pec stretch, right, after we did that roll, right? And gets everything nice and open, so that way we can really pick our chest up and stand nice and tall and nice and proud, all right? Okay, so the same thing, if you've already seen our thoracic mobility video, these are gonna be the same stretches, all right? So what we're gonna do is the same thing, grab a blank space on the wall, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start out by having our arm here at shoulder height, and then we're gonna go up above, and then we'll go below, all right?
And I'll go ahead and get out of the shot while you guys are finishing this.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our left arm at shoulder height. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that the whole arm is touching the wall, and then we're gonna slowly start facing away, all right? Now, if we get here and we're still facing the wall a little bit, that's all right. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can be about 90 degrees or so.
Patience.
Good, and let's go ahead and bring this up higher. And let's bring it lower. All right, go ahead and switch sides. So same thing, making sure that our wrist, our elbow, and our shoulder are up against the wall, and then we're gonna turn our torso away. And let's go ahead and go up above. And down below. All right, good deal. So, all right, good deal. So that was your pecs, okay?
Yes.
So now that you guys know how to do that, make sure you start incorporating it a little more routinely, especially if this is the first, second time you've ever worked on your pecs or had someone else work on your pecs for you. Incorporating this, you'll eventually see that you'll actually be kind of standing a little bit taller. All right.
Absolutely. Just be patient with yourself and keep doing these videos. Check out the thoracic mobility video and make sure that if you haven't already, turn on notifications so you see our videos when we post, and share this stuff with a friend, especially if you know somebody that could benefit from it.
Yeah, for sure.
See you guys in the next video.